Nasal decongestants. What are the nasal decongestants? These nasal decongestants contain the drugs such as alpha-1 agonists, and they produce nasal vasoconstriction locally, so they relieve the congestion. So alpha-1 agonists mainly act as the nasal decongestants. So this is one of the drug which is an alpha-1 agonist, and this is phenylephrine. You can compare this phenylephrine with what are the catecholamine epinephrine. So epinephrine is having this type of structure. What is the difference between these two? If you observe, phenylephrine is having no OH group at the third position. So phenylephrine is not a catecholamine and it lacks the OH group at the third position. So because of this lack of OH group, now phenylephrine is selective for the alpha-1 receptors. Actually, epinephrine is selective for both alpha as well as beta receptors, but phenylephrine, because of lack of OH group at the third position, it is selective for the alpha-1 receptors. So phenylephrine is a selective alpha-1 agonist. Similarly, other alpha-1 agonists include, this is the one of the drug, xylometazoline. This drug is having the imidazoline nucleus. This imidazoline nucleus is attached to the phenyl ring, which is again attached with the two methyl groups. So this phenyl ring is the xylyl ring. This is a drug having xylyl ring system which is attached to the imidazoline methyl side chain. So this is the xylometazoline. And then the drug here is the oxymetazoline. And you can observe the only difference is oxymetazoline is having the OH group adds into the methyl group on the benzene. So these are the two drugs, xylometazoline and oxymetazoline, which are the imidazoline derivatives. Similarly, another drug is the nafazoline. You can observe that in the nafazoline, naphthyl ring system is present, which is again attached to the imidazoline ring system. One of the advantages of this nafazoline is that this can be used both for nasal as well as ocular congestion. So it is not only a nasal decongestant, it is also an ocular decongestant. What are the other nasal decongestants? So this is one of a mixed acting drug which is having the OH group with R configuration and methyl group with S configuration. So this is the drug ephedrine, which is having the 1R 2S configuration. Similarly, its isomer is the pseuodephedrine, which is having the S configuration at the OH and R configuration at the CH3. So pseuodephedrine has 1S 2R configuration. Ephedrine previously used as a nasal decongestant and bronchodilator, but nowadays it is not preferred as nasal decongestant because of its adverse effects on the cardiovascular system as well as its effect on the drug addiction. So pseuodephedrine is only one of the drug used as a nasal decongestant. How they act? So these nasal decongestants mainly act on the alpha-1 receptor. So let us see how these drugs are mainly acting. So suppose this is the nasal vascular smooth muscle. Now this nasal vascular smooth muscle is equipped with the alpha-1 receptors. And whenever nasal decongestants act as agonists on these alpha-1 receptors, these receptors are activated so that they will convert the phosphatidyl inositol to the phosphatidyl inositol activated system. Now this phosphatidyl inositol which is activated then releases the IP3 and diacylglycerol, inositol triphosphate and diacylglycerol. Now these two mediators are responsible for the increase in the calcium within the vascular smooth muscle. Now the raised calcium within the vascular smooth muscle leads to the contraction of the vascular smooth muscle. In this way, nasal decongestants produce vasoconstriction at the nasal blood vessels. But how this can produce the relief of congestion? So suppose this is the normal blood vessel under normal conditions, but when it is undergoing the vasodilatation because of the congestion, the nasal blood vessels are going to be dilated. Now when these are dilated, the nasal pathway is going to be congested so that results in the stuffy nose and difficulty in breathing. In such situation, nasal decongestants can cause vasoconstriction of the nasal blood vessels, thereby they increase the nasal pathway leading to the relief of the congestion. So in this way, nasal decongestants acts as a local vasoconstrictors within the nasal blood vessels. So this vasoconstriction of the nasal blood vessels cause the relief of the nasal block. What are the side effects of these drugs? Because these drugs act locally, they also produce local side effects. So the first one is the nasal irritation, sneezing, burning, and nasal dryness. As these drugs are going to decrease the nasal secretions, so a nasal dryness is also observed with these drugs. So all these are the local effects which can be easily tolerated. Apart from these side effects, one of the limitations of the nasal decongestants is the rebound congestion. So the rebound congestion is one of a reverse effect of the nasal decongestants when they are used continuously for more than 3 days. So in such situation, they increase the congestion by increasing the swelling, redness as well as the nasal block. So the exact mechanism for this is not clear, but any counteractive mechanisms may be developed within these 3 days which may further increase the nasal congestion. How these drugs are given? So these drugs are given as nasal sprays. So few of the drugs which are given as nasal sprays include the drugs like oxymetazoline, xylometazoline and pseuodephedrine. Similarly, these drugs can also be given as the syrups as well as tablets. So two of the drugs which are given as syrups and tablets include phenylephrine and pseuodephedrine. You can observe that pseuodephedrine can be given as a nasal spray, syrups as well as tablets. That's about the nasal decongestants. Nasal decongestants are the drugs which produce a quick and prompt relief of the nasal congestion and have an important role in the nasal block and stuffy nose. But only one of the limitations of these drugs is that this drug should be used only for less than 3 days, and when they are used for more than 3 days, they can further increase the nasal congestion.